Hello, Dr. Z. This is the ladder program for the second question. Uh, Here I have used a push start push button to start the process. So what I have done is I have put a timer with 10 seconds as the preset value. So what it does is when I push the start button at the interval of 10 seconds, uh, a pallet is released. So in 10 seconds this DN gets energized, and so likewise this push button gets energized, and one pallet is released every 10 seconds. So now when this line is energized, I have used a sequencer output here. What this sequencer output does is every time this line gets energized, the value from register B10 is loaded to register N75. So for the first 10 second, at the first 10 second, first pallet is released. So I have given here the number of parts for first pallet as 8. So what it does is now at position 1, the number of parts in the first pallet is taken and stored in this register N75. Similarly, in the second cycle, when this gets energized, the position becomes 2. So the second pallet, which has 12 parts, this data is stored in this register N75. Now in the next line, I have used a add function. So this is nothing just for adding the total number of pallet parts. So what it does is, first, when the position is 1, the parts for first pallet is stored in N75. This is added with the source bit, that is N71. N71 is nothing but 0 in the beginning, so this 2 is added and stored in N76. N76 counts the total pallet parts as seen here. In the next line, what I have done is move the value of N76 to N71. So the reason I did this is when the second pallet is scanned, the parts in the second pallet, that is 12, which arrives in N75, and the parts in the first pallet, which was 8, that was stored in 71 and 71, these two gets added and is stored in 76. So what it does is 8 plus 12 is stored, that is 20, is stored in N76. Similarly, in the third pallet, this 5 comes to this register, and 20 and 5, 8 and 12, the 20 in N71 and the 5 in N75 is added, so that the total is now 25. And similarly the process goes on. And then I have used a subtract function. This function block is used in order to count the remaining pallets. So since here I have kept the length 5, that means I have 5 number of pallets in the first batch. So N72, in N72 I have put the preset value is 5, because at first the total number of remaining pallets will be the total number of pallets. So when the first pallet is scanned, this 5 N7 to 5 is subtracted from 1, so the value is 4 and it is stored in N74. Now in this line, the 4 that is in N74 is moved to N72, so now N72 is 4, and this N72 in the next iteration, when the pallet number is 2, the second pallet arrives, this N72 that is 4 is subtracted from 1, and then the value is 4 minus 1 is 3, so this becomes 3. So that means whenever the pallet is scanned, this destination N74 has the value of the remaining pallets. So when I run this program, this decreases from 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1 and 0 finally. And also I have an equality function, and what it does is when the total pallets in the batch has been scanned, all the pallets has been scanned, that is 5. So I have what I have done is compare this N74, that is remaining pallets left. When the pallets left is 0, that means all the pallets has been scanned. I have put the command to clear this register N76, so this total pallet parts is cleared so that the next batch can be processed. And finally in this ROM I have used the same equal function, that is when the batch is over, that is when the all 5 pallets have been scanned, the process is stopped. That means this gets energized and this gets de-energized and the process stops. So let's download this. So now when I start this, at the end of 10 seconds, every 10 seconds the pallet from position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are released, and in the same way the pallets left, the pallet parts, the current pallet parts and the total pallet parts are updated. So let's toggle this. Okay, now you can see when this is 10 seconds, this pallet number 1 is scanned, so you can see pallet parts, that is 8, is seen in here, and remaining pallets is now 4, and the total pallet parts is 8. So in the 10 seconds, this second 12, the second pallet is shifted to N75, and you can see remaining pallet is 3 and the total is 20. Similarly 20, now it's 25 because number of parts in the third pallet is 5, so 20 plus 5 is 25. The remaining pallets is 2. And the fourth, the pallet parts is 20, so 25 and 10 and 25 is 35. And finally 35 plus 5 is 40. So now you can see all the pallets in the first batch has been scanned and the process has stopped. So in order to start the second batch, I have to clear this register. So once I toggle this bit, you can see the total pallet parts, this register has been cleared. So this is all in this second question. Thank you.